What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. Let's talk about obsession, shall we? Obsession is something that can make even the most rational, competent people be very irrational and very incompetent. In the real world, excessive obsession is bad and needs to be quickly rectified. However, in fiction, when it's applied to a character, it can make for a very fascinating character. Look no further than good old Captain Ahab from the legendary novel Moby Dick. His whole shtick was obsession. But we're not going to be talking about books here. No, this is a cartoon channel. So instead, we are going to be talking about Queen Tyr'ahnee from Duck Dodgers and her little problem with obsession with Duck Dodgers.
Forgive me, dearest. Did he hurt you?
But I'm supposed to hurt him.
And of course, since this is a Velicia Cosplays video, we are going to find out what we can use from Queen Tyr'ahnee's obsession and see if we can inject it into Velicia. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and buckle into our favorite Martian spaceship and let us rule an entire species. And despite being a very capable individual, have a weird obsession with a incompetent duck. And let's use that obsession to smash the like button, and let's talk about the Martian Queen. So, as I said, this is another Velicia Cosplays video, so this time on Velicia Cosplay, she's cosplaying the Martian Queen, Queen Tyr'ahnee. Funny story about this particular drawing is that when Duck Dodgers first came out in like 2003, so way back then, I didn't really watch it when it was first on air. And so I only recently watched it because I was thinking about the Martian Queen and like what I could possibly use from her for like a Velicia Cosplay video. And so I watched through it and learned a bunch of interesting things about her. And of course, started doing the drawing. And of course, with the drawing, I pull references. And in the references, I notice that the Martian Queen does not wear underwear under her see-through dress. And that was an interesting thing to find out. So I decided to acknowledge that little absence of clothing in today's picture. So Velicia is finding out also for the first time that there's some parts missing to this little cosplay of hers. So, Duck Dodgers. Like I said, I didn't watch it when it was first coming around, so I decided to give it a watch rather recently, and it's really, really fun. Something I really love about Looney Tunes is when they go off model, so to speak. And what I mean by that is, like, I love it when Looney Tunes don't do the usual short Looney Tunes thing where, like, you know, Bugs Bunny tricks Elmer Fudd or Daffy Duck bounces around the walls doing his hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo thing, right? I love it when they do, like, Duck Dodgers. I love it when they do the Looney Tunes show, which is a video I really need to do one of these days. When I saw Duck Dodgers and, you know, got to see, like, you know, what if space adventure but duck, then I really dug it. And so I really got into it. And of course, I wanted to see where this Martian Queen, whose artwork I saw a lot growing up on the internet, I wanted to see her origin. I wanted to see the show where she originated from and find out what her personality was actually like. So Queen Tyr'ahnee, funnily enough, is not super tyrannical. I mean, she's still technically the iron-fisted ruler of Mars, but she never really acts like a hard dictator who demands fealty, you know, like any more than an average queen would demand in a TV show. And of course, she fits that bill of that, you know, hashtag strong female character of, like, you know, being hyper competent, being hyper beautiful, being very no nonsense. But, and this is a big stinky but, she does have one fatal flaw, and that is what I mentioned in the beginning of this video, obsession. You see, the joke of the series, or at least the joke of Queen Tyr'ahnee, is that despite her laundry list of really good characteristics, she is unusually romantically obsessed with Duck Dodgers. The funny thing about Duck Dodgers is that the joke about Duck Dodgers is that he is grotesquely incompetent, and yet is able to accomplish so much. And the reason why he's able to accomplish so much is that he just flies by the seat of his pants through sheer dumb luck. However, there are multiple characters who can see through Duck Dodgers' fake bravado and see that he's just a duck with luck. And, you know, the eager young space cadet kind of like rolls his eyes, smiles, and tolerates Duck Dodgers, but the eager young space cadet knows that, you know, he's kind of flying by the seat of his pants. Dr. IQ High knows that he's incompetent and flies by the seat of his pants. Even Marvin the Martian, or in this case, Commander X2, sees that Duck Dodgers is is grotesquely incompetent. Everyone sees him that way except Queen Tyr'ahnee.
He may look, talk, and eat like an utter buffoon, but make no mistake, Dodgers is a genius. Perhaps the only thing Dodgers possesses in greater abundance than brilliance is bravery.
She has thoroughly convinced herself that Duck Dodgers is a brilliant strategist, a brave hero, and a hyper-competent warrior. And he kind of is a hyper-competent warrior because he's able to stand toe-to-toe with her, and, the Queen herself is a very hyper-competent warrior. So, Duck Dodgers does have some of his own merits and stuff, but there's a lot he's lacking in that the Queen just doesn't see. And the reason why is because she's just strangely romantically obsessed with him. She is wearing these really thick rose-colored glasses, and she is entirely unable to see the red flags. It's like that famous line from BoJack Horseman. When you're wearing rose-tinted glasses, every red flag just looks like a flag. And so because of that, her obsession with Duck Dodgers is her fatal flaw. It's her Achilles heel. It's her kryptonite, her one weakness. This is made even funnier by the fact that again, she's not shown to be incompetent or stupid. She's not like some kind of airheaded valley girl or anything like that. So it's not like she can be easily fooled. And yet, Dodgers is her one fatal weakness. So here I am prattling about this fatal flaw, fatal weakness being obsession, and obsession blinding someone who is otherwise competent. How can I use this with Velicia? Honestly, it's kind of what I intend to be her main characteristic. Of course, if you've seen the other Velicia cosplay videos, then you know that I say time and time again that Velicia has a desire to portray herself as an unstoppable, infallible villainess. And she is unable to do that because she has so much hang-ups, so many flaws. She has her own, share of obsessions. She's obsessed with trying to take over the world. She's obsessed with trying to get her minions to do what she says. So this obsession that Queen Tyr'ahnee has with Duck Dodgers really struck a chord with me because it's exactly what I want Velicia to have. With the difference being that Velicia doesn't have a single focus of an obsession. She does have kind of like a singular obsession. If I were to say what her single obsession is, it's to be recognized. I guess above all else, Velicia is obsessed with being recognized, and in this case, recognized as an all-powerful empress of a planet, which she does not get that recognition, so she is obsessing over it. The thing is that Velicia herself, I make her very competent in multiple aspects. She is, even though she boasts she's a supreme dark sorceress, the point is that she's actually a very accomplished sorceress. She's really good at magic. I specifically go out of my way to draw her as physically attractive because she is someone who's trying to portray that femme fatale look, and it's not like she doesn't have the looks to work with. So she definitely has a lot of, she's meant to have a lot to work with. It's just that it doesn't come together because she has all these hang-ups and neurotic obsessions that lay her low, much like, in Queen Tyr'ahnee's case, her inability to see Dodgers as who he truly is because of her romantic obsession with him. A very interesting blueprint I have found now that I've watched through Duck Dodgers involving Queen Tyr'ahnee is that I am seeing a character who not only has this obsession that lays her low despite her other competencies, but it's also really interesting seeing the other characters who are befuddled at her obsession. There are scenes where she admits that, she says, like, Duck Dodgers is this brilliant tactician, and there are other characters who just kind of look at her going like, you're kidding, right? We're talking about the same person, right? We're talking about the same Duck Dodgers here, right? So it's really interesting to see other characters react to her obsession. So I'm getting a preview of what it's going to be like to have a character who has an unhealthy obsession with things, and to see how other characters would react to it. So I have Duck Dodgers to thank for another aspect that I can steal for my own work. And of course, I always say, good artists borrow and great artists steal, but you have to steal from multiple sources, otherwise you are a hack. And I've been doing my due diligence to make sure that I steal from multiple sources for Velicia. And now, thanks to watching through Duck Dodgers, I have another source. I can steal from Queen Tyr'ahnee and use her unhealthy obsession as a blueprint to make my own OC more interesting. And so with that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there for today. So, you people know what to do. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle those sacred buttons. Go ahead and share the video and comment down below if you want to do some healthy engagement. Remember, I do have a Patreon and Subscribe Star if you want to see this month's exclusive video about an inappropriate artist, and I get to use inappropriate words talking about said inappropriate artist. And of course, if you wish to stalk me elsewhere on the interbuts, you can always hit up my links here on the screen. You can type them out. And, of course, I always say pay special attention to Minds.com. And the reason why is because Minds.com is an alternative website from the tech oligarchy that we find ourselves living under, so it's good market diversity. And yeah, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I do hope you all stick around. And until next time, duck deuces from the 24th and a half century.